In today's guide, we're taking a look at Kyoshin. Kyoshin is a very defensive hero with a forhonor. That's due to his Kaze stance and really his mix-ups. In this guide, I will go over everything I know with Kyoshin to help you understand him more in forhonor. Let's get straight to it. Alrighty guys, so going over Kyoshin, the first thing I'm going to go over a little bit are the lights and heavies. So within Kyoshin's lights and heavies, on the second chain, the second hit chain, Kyoshin has undodgeables. Now, the undodgeables, like I always say, are better to use it on people who are becoming very dodgy or are just moving around a lot. Use those undodgeables just to get some damage off. That's pretty much what I would recommend, and I will also go over something later with the undodgeables that you can do for like a mix if you want to. But pretty much, Kyoshin has undodgeables on both lights and heavy second chain attacks. Alright, next we're going to go over Kyoshin's dodge attacks. Now, Kyoshin does have right and left dodge attacks. These are heavy attacks, that is. They do 15 damage on both sides. Again, like I always say, best to use the dodge attacks as a way to counter your opponent. So if they decide to throw an attack, you dodge it, you basically go. Now, some people will try to bait you. You want to be careful whenever you do that. You just want to see what they do first. And if they do throw it out, then you can go for that side dodge. And Kyoshin does have a front forward dodge heavy. This is good for closing in the distance that you have with your opponent and just get right into their face. Pretty much that's what I would use it for. Now, this attack can be parryable, so you got to be careful too, and you can also continue your chain right after if you're wanting to go for something different. Alrighty, next we're gonna go over Kyoshin's bashes. Now, Kyoshin does have some bashes within his kit. So of course, this is a regular one. It's his front forward bash that you can do. His front forward and X if you're on an Xbox or a controller. You basically can do front forward X here to get a bit of a light off right after if you're wanting to. And also, Kyoshin does have follow-up bashes as well. So if I went for, like, let's say a heavy, I go for X, I can go for a follow-up bash to get more damage. I pretty much will get a top light that does 15 damage. That's pretty much what it is for that follow-up bash. You just got to press X after any sort of attack that you do. And this is after any open attack. That's pretty much what it is. Even after a zone as well, you can get this off. All right, so what I want to tell you guys is that there is a little bit of a mix-up that I sometimes do. Now, this is like a blue to orange mix-up that I sometimes will do with Kyoshin. And when I mean blue to orange, I pretty much mean this. So the blue itself, if I go for a zone and let this fly, that's pretty much what I mean with blue. Kyoshin's undodgeable heavies if someone decides to try to be a bit dodgy within my chain or whenever in my combo. So if I went for, like, say heavy and they decide to dodge there, then I will let that fly, because I will let that undodgeable go if they're trying to dodge. Now, for orange, I pretty much will go for that follow-up bash, pretty much after zone if they're trying to like stand still. Okay, next we're gonna go over Kyoshin's Kaze stance. So this is Kyoshin's Kaze stance. Now, the Kaze stance, of course, is an all guard. Now, you can hold this down and you will not lose any stamina whenever you're in this all guard. The only thing that will be vulnerable to you is that you will be vulnerable to a guard break. So you want to be careful whenever you're trying to go for the Kaze stance. Now, what I would recommend is something like this. If I were to show you like this type of mix-up that I would sometimes do, so I would go for light into the follow-up, going for Kaze, going for a guard break, and something like this. I will sometimes do that in order to avoid trying to get guard broken from the Kaze stance. Now, sometimes they will just figure out when I go for a Kaze stance. So it's pretty much after this light, go for Kaze. They will know the guard break right then and there sometimes, but sometimes it might not work. Sometimes I might not get the guard break and I'll just throw the heavy out and it'll just cancel. If I were to throw, like, I don't know, a zone, or if I were to throw the heavy after going into my Kaze stance, it'll like cancel out if someone tries to guard break. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It's a weird thing. But what you want to know is that the all guard itself, you can go into it infinitely and you pretty much don't lose stamina on it, and you also will be vulnerable to a guard break. That's something you just want to know. All right, next we're gonna go over the attacks within Kaze stance. So you pretty much seen the heavy right here, that unblockable heavy that does around 15 damage on top. Best to use it within your mixes, like I showed you earlier, that little mix. You can do something like that. And you can also go for a light within that as well, and you can go for a zone, which of course they're not that bad either. It's just the light here. You want to be careful when using the light, because people will tend to focus on that light. Whenever you're in Kaze and you try to go for a light very fast, they will try to parry that light. I've had it happen to me a lot of times. I would not recommend using the light a lot. All right, so when it comes to the Kaze stance, for all those attacks that I went over, you can also extend them with other chain attacks as well. So if I were to go for light, you can continue that chain attack right there, and it'll give you extra damage. Now, I would recommend using those lights afterward if you do get this off, and just finish your opponent off if they're very low. And you can also do it with the heavy light, light, light. So pretty much if I were to do this again, the light, 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 it'll go 8 damage first, 1 damage, 1 damage, and then 8 damage again for the last light. Now, the move itself is called Fusion Cuts within Kyoshin's kit. Now, this is in Kazakhstan. After any Kazakhstan's attack, pretty much after that light or after this heavy, you pretty much will want to press light, light, light right after. There's 3 different lights to get this off. And you can do it in the heavy and the zone, like I said. Now, one thing that I also want to mention is that in Kyoshin's zone, you can press the zone again to get another zone and continue this if you want to. This is an infinite way for Kyoshin to minion clear as well, but you can definitely use it within your kit to throw your opponent off if you want to throw the zone again within the Kazakhstan only. Not the regular zone, but just the Kazakhstan zone. It does around 12 damage if you press it again. And of course, and here is Kyoshin's regular zone. Now, the regular zone itself, I tend to use it a lot sometimes whenever I'm doing the undodgeable mix with the bash. That's pretty much what I would use the zone for. Or if I want to use it to finish my opponent off, I mean, that's 14 damage. That's not that bad. So I would honestly use this just to finish my opponent off if they're very low. And of course, Kyoshin does have crushing counters within his kit, but regular crushing counters you can definitely get with Kyoshin, and they do around 17 damage, so that's pretty much it. Okay guys, so moving on to Kyoshin's feats, I'm pretty much going to go over the 4 main feats that I take. Now, I really take the first 4, so we're mainly going to go over those. And also guys, I won't be pronouncing these feats, I'm just going to go over the very first ones. I'm not going to pronounce them because I don't want to like offend anybody at all. So here we go. For the first one, this here is a passive. Attacks have bleed properties after superior blocking and attack. So for this first one, I definitely would just take this one just to be able to do bleed properties and cause some bleed to my opponents whenever I'm playing with Kyoshin. Really good to use in Dominion. This is what makes Kyoshin a little, not a little broken, but the second one is. The second one is a passive. You gain health from successful attacks after superior blocking and attack. So you gain a bit of health from just successful attacks after superior blocking an opponent. Honestly, this here is what kind of makes Kyoshin broken, man, in my opinion. Because he can just get his health back from just some successful attacks. Now, the third feat does also enhances that too. So the third feat, you gain effects of the first feat and the second feat while active, duration recess after superior blocking and attack. So while it is active, the duration recess after superior blocking pretty much any attack. This here is pretty good too. This here just mainly just you gain the effects of both the second and the first. That's pretty much what it is. You just gain those effects and you'll be able to get your health and be able to deal bleed damage at the same time and to be able to kill your opponents too. So yeah, I will recommend taking this too. Now for the fourth one, you use heavenly powers to petrify and deal some damage to surrounding enemies. So you'll mainly just, it's like a crowd control. That's pretty much what the fourth feat for Kyoshin is. It's a crowd control where you will just hold the enemy in place and you'll be able to get maybe just a heavy off, and it will also deal some damage too. So if they're very low, you can kill them with the heavy. And it's also rage inducing a little bit. Like, I've gotten a few people angry with this. It's honestly funny sometimes, but at the same time, I can understand where the anger comes from, because you're just stuck in place for that time, and yeah, you just can't do much just for a little bit, and plus you're going to be taking a bit of damage. So yeah, these are the feats I would recommend. Now, if you want to look at all the information for these feats, I will leave the info hub of forhonor's info hub that way down below in the description. That way you guys can go look at Kyoshin's feats. Alrighty guys, this is going to be an overview of all of Kyoshin's gear perks. So here we go. For the first one, we have Gale Storm. Upon hero kill, gain 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. For the second one, we have Devour. Upon execution, heal an additional plus 10 health. For the third one is Early Reaper. Upon spawn or when revived, first attack deals 30% more damage. And for the fourth one, we have Endurance. When gaining a renown level, receive 3% stamina cost reduction. And for the fifth one, we have Survival Instinct. When in critical health, gain 25% stamina cost reduction. And for the sixth one, we have Crush Them. Upon hero kill, your next damage deals 30% more damage. And for the final one, we have Headhunter. For each unique player/bot hero executed, increase the max health by 4. Now again, if you want all the information for these gear perks, I will leave the information hub down below in my description. Alright guys, here we go. Got ourselves a duel. Want to get Sakura. GB. Go for my GB. I'll go for the bash. Okay, she dodges it. I'll go for the zone. Let it fly. Nice. GB. GB here. Not happening. Good parry. Go the bash. They dodge the bash again. Zone. Let it fly. Zone again. Alright, nice. Wait. Zone again. She dodged forward there. I wanted to go for that zone. Good fight. Okay, I'm gonna continue using that zone a little bit. Just to one, get some damage and possibly kill her. And two, I want to try and get my mix going. It's just hard to get that mix going because people are just... They're understanding it. Go to the zone again. Let it fly. Yep, she got it that time. And I'm going to let that go. Nice. Oh, perfect. Zone. Bang, bang, bang. There it is. Gotcha. Zone. Let it fly. Gotcha. Beautiful mix. Good fight. Oh, that was beautiful. Alright. So this Afira, she's not doing too bad. She was catching me off guard a little bit. So when I try to go for those like undodgeables, I just take risks with them. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I mean, that's pretty much what you want to do with Kyoshin sometimes. You want to take a risk in order to get your damage for the heavy. She went for that. She went for that. Being a bit aggressive. Look at that light parry. Let it fly. Oh yeah, she fell for that. Let's go with the zone. Let it fly again. Yep, she's just dodging. Let it fly. She doesn't dodge that time. No. Not happening. Let me. Good parry. Good fight. That was a good fight right there. She wasn't throwing out as much, but she called me up in the first half, but second half it didn't work. I want to see if I can get a rematch with her. Alright guys, here we go. They brought a Kyoshin this time. Play Afira. I should have went for Kaze. There it is. Bang, bang, bang. Let me. They always light. I don't know why they didn't light that time. Let it fly. Got him. I'm glad I'm not going for the bash after, because they would dodge it most of the time. Okay, that time they didn't dodge it. They were dodging in the first game with the Fury. Heavy. Heavy again. Okay, zone. Got him. Okay, yeah. Good fight. I'm going to be using that zone to just kill. That's really why I'm using the zone a little bit too much, because the reason I'm just using it is just to chip away damage. That's why I'm using the zone, but to also create separation a little bit too. That's what I try to do. Now, I'm going to try and throw some heavies out here and see if they will block them. Go the heavy. Okay, go for the kick. They could be guard breaking me. I don't know why they're not. Oh, interesting. Okay. For the bash. For the bash. Ah, interesting. Good parry. Ah, good catch. Okay. Doesn't kill. Let it fly. Got him. Oh, poor dude. You had the kill. You had me. Oh, poor guy. Oh, they're falling for that unblockable. That not the unblockable. They're falling for the undodgeable. My fault. They're falling for that undodgeable. You can't fall for that as much. Even fighting Kyoshins, you have to try to stand still a little bit too. Try to parry it. Because if I know you're sitting still, then I'm gonna try to go for the bash. Because that's what I'll do sometimes. If they stand still, I'm just gonna bash them a little bit. If they're not, and they're being dodgy like that, then yeah, I'm throwing those undodgeables out. Oh, nice. Going for that GB. Nice. Going for the kick. Oh, I didn't expect that. I don't know why people have been doing that lately. So, oh, nice. Good weight. Now they're reading it. GB. Let it fly. Good parry. Ah, that got me right there. Good fight. Yeah, now the Griffin's starting to read me a little bit. Now I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit. I'm going to try and go for a bit more bashes here. Trying to get some bashes going. I'm not going to let the dodgeables go too much. And I'm going to try to be a bit more defensive too. And I can't fall for that fake dodge. Alright, nice. Okay, I'm not being defensive. Oh, you had the parry. Go for the bash. Give me that. Let it fly. Oh, yeah. No, zone it again. Go for the bash. Perfect. Oh, no. Got him. I faked it. I faked it like I was going to let it fly. And I went for the zone. I could have let it fly to kill them there. But hey. That was a good match. Yo, GG's to this Griffin. Alrighty, guys. So that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. Now, Kyoshin, he is a very, very defensive hero and a very hard hero for anyone that's trying to get into Kyoshin. It will take some time to understand Kyoshin a bit, but that just all comes with practice, and I highly recommend for everyone to just practice with Kyoshin in your moves. Honestly, it's best to just continue practicing. If you understand the moves a bit more and you want to just go a bit further, you want to continue practicing with the character as best as. But besides that, Kyoshin can become a very fun hero once you understand him a lot more within For Honor. But I do hope this guide does tend to help you guys understand Kyoshin and help you get a bit more with Kyoshin in For Honor. Now, be sure to leave a like if you did enjoy, if this guide did help you, and also subscribe if you're new for more For Honor content. And I also want to ask you guys, what do you guys think about Kyoshin in For Honor? Do you guys like Kyoshin in For Honor? Do you not like him? Do you think he needs a nerf? Do you think he needs a buff? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But with that being said, I am TheGamingRaptor, and I will see you guys in the next video. Alright guys, peace out.